Welcome to the Industrial Talk Podcast with Scott McKenzie. Scott is a passionate industry professional dedicated to transferring cutting-edge, industry-focused innovations and trends while highlighting the men and women who keep the world moving. So put on your hard hat, grab your work boots, and let's go.
All right, once again, thank you very much for joining Industrial Talk, and thank you very much for your support. It is a platform, an education platform dedicated to you, industrial professionals all around the world, because you are bold, you're brave, you dare greatly, you're changing lives, you're changing the community, and you're making the world a better place. That's why we celebrate you on Industrial Talk. Now, we're broadcasting on site right now, Barcelona, IoT Solutions World Congress, and I got to tell you, you need to put this event on your calendar for next year. If you're not here, put it on your calendar for next year, because there are people like Casto. Did I get that right?
That's right.
See? That solves problems and has a desire to help you succeed right there. All right, in the hot seat, you heard me reference him. Casto Canavate is in the hot seat. KNX is the company. Let's get cracking. Yeah, this is the second stab at this intro because I mispronounced his first name. So you didn't, listeners, you don't have to hear me mispronounce his name. But then from there, whatever goes on. How you doing? Having a good conference?
Very good. Actually, it's a very impressive day. Even the second day is good.
It's always interesting when I come to these conferences, and this is pretty much conference across the board. Day one is always like everybody's sort of wandering around. What do we do? How do we get this? And then day two, everybody knows they're in their stride and they're moving forward and they're like, yeah, okay, I know where to go. I know what to do. I know who to talk to. Yeah, exactly. Now, is this the first time, second time? How many times you've been?
Second time here, yes.
Were you here last year?
Yeah.
Were you?
We were, yeah. So we started actually last year, but we were so late to be here that we only took part of the conference program. But this time we are at the conference program together with our booth in the startup.
Oh, you're in the startup too.
We are.
We're gonna be doing some videos
startup
over there, just because I think that's again, it at this event, like KNX and others, you never stop innovating. There's always more. There's always stuff that's happening, something new that always blows my mind. That's just me. All right, before we get into the conversation about you, KNX, and all the stuff that's taking place, give us a little background on who you are.
Yeah, so my name is Casto. Thank you for the invitation. So I'm responsible of the marketing department at the company of KNX. And a bit of background is I started with learning by myself about the smart homes. At the time in 2002 more or less, I recall first technology I started with was X10. It was an American technology, by the way. And it was interesting, so that brought my attention. Since then I've been doing smart homes, smart buildings until today. And I wanted to be a professional in homes, for smart homes. I realized we can do more and more. So if I join a big corporation like KNX it is, so I could help also the market, to educate the market in this case, to raise awareness, to have more smart homes globally. Our company is international. And then IoT came. With the IoT, everything changed.
Like overnight.
Yes.
It was all of a sudden, it's like, yeah, now we can really collect the data. We can collect the insights. We can collect all of the relevant piece of information to help make things more efficient, insights, whatever.
That's
right.
Yes.
So, with that said, why is it important for businesses, for consumers, it doesn't matter, to look into that whole smart approach to their homes or the building? Why is it important?
Honestly, the most important aspect I think you can have in the short term is because then you don't worry about anything. When you just arrive at home, you enter your home, and then your home will do things like switch on the lights, like put in your heating, your air code, depending winter or summer, in the conditions that you like, and then it will be efficient. But the long term is what we are looking at. So the long term, you can have a more efficient and sustainable home. So if we make our buildings, our homes more efficient, what we create is a more sustainable world in there. And that's That's the real end goal of smart home and smart buildings.
So how does it make it more sustainable? If I deploy this technology, I make it smart. Take us through how that makes it more sustainable. What are we doing? Do we have waste in there?
Yeah, that's the thing that nobody realizes when you imagine. Let's give some examples. So if you imagine during summertime, this summer is hot, then you put your air cool, but then out of the blue, somebody will open a window. If you still have the aircon on and you open the window, but it's a waste of energy. So systems, a smart home system that will help you to, for instance, if you open the window, first thing first, stop the aircon, standby mode. Second thing that the system can do for you is it can send you a notification. It can send you to your mobile. We always have the mobile with us, right? So it sends you a message. Aircon is off because somebody has opened the window. So if you want to get the aircon on back again, close the window first. Just to say a basic example. So.
No, that's an accurate. I see it. I understand it, and I've violated that on many occasions where my AC's running and I open up the door and I run on out, outside of the bugs. But you're absolutely right. So it sounds to me that in a, let's say, not just we're gonna venture into smart buildings, but in the case of me, Scott Consumer Smart Home, you're just providing a platform or the ability and the logic to ensure that I'm notified. There's a reason behind it. You know, all of the stuff. You educate me. You know, I bet you if you came into my house today, you'd say, "Oh my gosh, Scott, you wasteful son of a gun." So, sticking with smart homes.
Yep.
How difficult is it to venture and move into that whole area? So, I look at my house. How difficult is it?
Today is simpler. So I would say IoT here, it was a good door opener because the big corporation, around 5-7 years ago, this time, Google, Apple, Samsung, Amazon, they launched mass market devices, smart devices, Alexa, Nest thermostat.
Yep.
So these devices, they help to create a smart home. And that already helps people to understand I can move from my traditional home, so to call it, to a smart home by integrating these products into my home. It's true. And Nest thermostat, it gives everything you need to control your heating in your home. It gives you time, so that you time schedule, so that you can schedule according to when you are at work, or when you are at home, or when you are on holidays. It gives you different temperature at a different time frame, and it's even intelligent because it helps also to it understand better how is your behavior. So is it that you set up to wake up at 7, but maybe you wake up every day at 6? So if it detects this movement of somebody for a period of time, it will readjust this timing, and it will ask you, it will normally notify you, shall we move the time to 1 hour earlier because you are already moving and you are not sleeping. So all of these things, they can be achieved.
Is there a, I can't say moral, but this level of insights, that's sort of personal, right? My preferences of how I live is somewhat personal. Is there a way of making sure that stays confidential, or how do we address that component of data?
It's a big subject today. Yeah. So what's happening with the data? You can choose, but people, they don't. So actually, there are possibilities that you can have your data within your home, and that you do not share with anyone. That's possible, and there are technologies. In particular, in KNX, we offer that possibility. Or you can choose to share data if you also want to go via clouds of other third-party companies. That's also a possibility. After all, it's really a decision of the end customer and receiving good advice. You know, Yesterday I had a session, and I explained a funny situation I lived with my son. He's 8. Well, now he's 9. So for his birthday, I went to purchase a smartwatch. Right, so I wanted, the smartwatch. They now have GPS. I can kind of control where he is. There is geofencing, so I can also give a radio. If he gets out of the radio, I get also notification on my mobile, just in case. So because they start, these 9 years old, we all being that age, we know what it is. I just bought something quick because the one that I purchased first didn't arrive, so I bought the second one quick and cheap, and it was one brand. I didn't even pay attention. I got it, and when I was configuring this product, I noticed that I was sending the data to the Chinese cloud of the manufacturing brand. All the data that I put on my boy, it was sent to. And that was really nasty.
An eye opener. See, so but you caught it, right? You're different.
Yeah, because I am a tech nerd.
That's right. You're unique in that sense. So anyway, I think that'll all work itself out. I believe that'll. The reality is that I'm all into the smart aspect of it. Yes, I want the savings. I want the insights. That's just me. And so I want to do it. And I'm sure there's plenty of other people who want to have the same thing. And not only that, if I was a building owner, that's massive savings to the bottom line because of the gain in efficiencies and insights and the maintenance of the assets. So that's real important. One of the areas that is also a part of that is, okay, so you're shifting data. You've got these sort of penetration points. They're all there. Of course, you can't have a conversation around smart without cyber and the protection of that network in a way that ensures that, Scott's six-pack here, fine, I'm okay and I'm protected. So that's also a part of the conversation, right?
Yeah, definitely. So there are the aspect of security and integrity, So you can, of course, you imagine there is a leak, the dishwasher is broken, there is a leak of water all around the floor. So you can have sensors for the floor, water flow, so that they will inform you. First of all, they send you a notification, hey, there is a leak, come here and check this out. And secondly, you can also close the water circuit so that it doesn't leak anymore, And that is one technical security aspect that we talk. There is also, of course, the secure aspect of installing a CCTV system, installing different movement presence sensors, and also contact reads in the windows, so that if somebody is trying to get in, so it can be detected. It can call police. It can call your insurance. It can make many notifications to different parties, third parties. These are services offered also by these technologies. And what is very important is the technology itself that you use. It must be secure. So you need to guarantee that there is a proper encryption mechanism, so that if there is a hacker entering in your system, so he doesn't come to inside your house, but from outside. Hacking your system. Imagine somebody hacking your CCTV system and then watching what you are doing at home. That is an integrity issue. That is really, if that's happening, the customer will lose any faith on the system.
In a jet second. And that's not good for anybody. And that type of publicity is not good because it's going to spread like wildfire. But I want to make sure that this is clear. For me, securing, I guarantee you they'll achieve that security. For me, the ability to be able to say, okay, take care of that my refrigerator, my dishwasher, all of my AC, whatever it might be, put the devices on there so that when you see or sense my assets beginning to fail or do whatever, you will notify me. You will you'll get somebody out there with maintenance, whatever it is. And I think that you've just eliminated a problem in my life and time. You've just created time. It's like somebody's showing up. My AC's going back. I like that. Let's shift gears a little bit and let's go into smart buildings. One of the questions I have is, one, there are existing buildings out there. There's I think, you'd be the expert on this, I think there's a tremendous amount of inefficiencies that exist there. And is it easy, or is it, well, I know it's doable, is it easy to just take an existing building asset, retrofit it, and begin to achieve the efficiencies that you, because I can do it on new buildings. You can bake it in. You can say, okay, building here to do this. It's the existing assets that have tremendous, I think, great value. Is that a doable proposition?
I would actually say it's a need, it's a must.
Yeah.
So it depends on the research that you can read. Buildings are responsible for between 40 to 60% of the CO2 emissions.
40 to 60.
Yeah, it depends. Some researchers, they talk about 40, some about 60, and I guess it depends on the city that you made the analysis.
Wow.
And that's a lot. So considering the situation, for instance, here in Europe, the European Union has defined already specific guidelines for buildings and how they have to reduce the CO2 emissions and the amount that they need to get to. So that's the political part, which is the big push, because if there are no this push, if nobody will push you to get there, then the buildings will not change. And yes, it is possible. So today you can retrofit it. And by the way, that's one of the things that IoT brings. IoT brings more connected possibilities, new wireless possibilities that are really making easier for building administrator to change the systems from not having a system to have a smart building. It is possible.
So if it's possible, which you just confirmed, one, and I would imagine there's various degrees of complexity. You know, this building's really bad and old and doesn't, but then there's various degrees. I would imagine you and KNX, Team KNX, would look at that building, determine the best path forward, sort of identify the low-hanging fruit that is like, you want to do something right here. You'll gain some great efficiencies if you just do that. Is that what KNX can bring to the table?
Yeah. So the most important application we are developing today is called energy management. With this, what we want to do is we want to guarantee that buildings can change to renewable source of energy, and that the energy is guaranteed 24 hours every day. So, and that is with energy management, we stop the use of fossil source of energy whenever it's possible, because, and here it comes the but, if you have photovoltaic panels on the roof, so to say, at night, then you don't have energy. So if you could not collect enough energy during the day and accumulate this in specific battery store units, then you need to have another source of energy, in this case, fossil source of energy that will help you or your system to provide the energy that you demand or to your needs. Could it be in a home or could it be in a building?
But see, to me, and I hear what you're saying, it's all paper and pencil stuff. You can get it down. You say, if you deployed this, you're here, you would be here, and that's an easy. I don't want to oversimplify, but that's an easy calculation to be able to say, do this, you save this over a period of time, and therefore your payback is whatever.
That's correct. Yes.
Yeah. See, it just. I don't see how you can own property in a house without having this conversation, without actually looking into. But I think one of the areas that would make it even more, get more people to buy in, is just make it simple. Just simplify it. Don't create the frictions and the resistance. That to me is just sort of an interesting. I don't know. Yeah.
I think it's the future. So the biggest application that will be developed the most is actually energy management and how to make buildings more efficient.
That's great, Castro. That is super I mean, I like that. I agree with you. I'm all in. Maybe I'm just one of a few, but I'm all in. I see the value. I see the benefit. I see what happens. And honestly, I'm looking for a professional Sherpa to help me with that journey, because I don't have the answers, and I guarantee you many don't have the answer. You've got to find the right connection. Team KNX. Thank you. How do they get a hold of you? How do they say, hey, I want to talk to Casto? How do they get a hold of you? What's the best way?
We are in the startup area. So there is in this congress you can visit us at the startup. There we have KNX and also some startups using our technology and showing how they integrate.
And I can go out to your website?
Yeah, it's www.knx.org.
It's an org.
Yeah.
Okay, there it is. KNX.org. Make a note of that. It's not KNX.com. KNX.org. Casto, you were great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. All right, listeners, we're going to wrap it up on the other side. We're going to have all the contact information for Casto and KNX. So go out to industrialtalk.com, industrialtalk.com. Connect with Casto, Team KNX. You will not be disappointed. So stay tuned. We will be right back.
You're listening to the Industrial Talk Podcast Network.
Again, thank you very much for joining Industrial Talk. That was Casto. Casto, you need to reach out there. Smart homes, smart buildings. It is what's happening, whether you embrace it or not. You've got appliances that are becoming more smart. I have some interviews out there. From my perspective, thank you for being smart. Yes, I like it. And just makes your life a little bit easier and a little bit more insightful. Casto, KNX.org. It's an association. Get involved because it's happening, whether you like it or not, but it's all good. It's all good. Also, I want you to just sort of point out some great sponsors. We've got Cap Logistics, we've got Hexagon, Savient, we've got Victiv, we've got just Arduino. Anyway, there's a lot of sponsors that are out there that help keep the lights on. Please support them as you see fit. Great companies, great people, great solutions, solving problems. You know the routine. Also, Industrial Talk is an education platform. It is a platform also that is focused on collaboration and bringing people together to solve problems, having that dialogue. Learning from the best that's out there in industry. You need to be involved. You need to just go out to Industrial Talk. Just go, I just want to be a part of what's going on. Tell your story. I'm always open. I'm always open and available. And if you find it in you to sponsor, that'd be great. I'll pump you all day long, and it's a good deal. So anyway, go out to industrialtalk.com. Find out more. Let's connect. Let's tell your story. All right, be bold, be brave, dare greatly. Hang out with Casto, and you're going to change the world. Thank you very much for joining. We will have more coming from IoT Solutions World Congress shortly, so stay tuned.